But with D-Law, there have been comparisons because he's wearing 94. So DeMarcus Ware's number is what Marshawn Kneeland has been wearing to this point. And there are a lot of expectations when you get a former Cowboy Legends number. And D-Law has heard different comparisons, and they asked him, does his game, because D-Law just said it, I expect him to be even better than me. If he sees Nealon in himself and the type of guys that they are.
I mean, me is me, God, at least that I know of. I mean, but Marshawn definitely, has some instinctive, play to his style. He's down, dirty, gritty. He's 275. I never, played at 275. So I mean, it's definitely a little difference, but like the grit about him.
So there's only one D-Law, he says. So the most important thing that I think we're going to learn throughout training camp and stuff, because everything's going to be very similar. We have questions about the running game, but last year they're bringing Zeke back. He's going to be a really good blocker in pass protection and short yardage. And it's not like the Cowboys ran the ball a ton last year anyway, right? So when it comes to the offense, it's about wide receiver 3 outside of Cooks and Lamb, who's going to step up. Those are the questions that the Cowboys are facing right now on the offensive side of the ball. But it was an offense that moved the ball extremely well last year. Dak Prescott played, MVP runner-up level throughout all of last year. And so the offensive questions are not as big, in my opinion, as defense, because they are switching to a whole new scheme. It's a whole new defensive coordinator, all of these things. And we heard from Jason and Joe when they were talking to Donovan Wilson earlier. And by the way, if you missed anything, YouTube, we've got a player with all of our Dallas Cowboys training camp interviews in it, as well as on the website at sasportstar.com. But Mike Zimmer's been kind of the big kind of question mark. How are the players going to react to Mike Zimmer, who is known to be kind of a hard coach and very old school in not just his teaching, but his discipline and everything he expects from his player, while Dan Quinn was more of a player's coach. And so far, players have seemingly really liked what they've gotten from Mike Zimmer so far, as has Mike McCarthy. But D-Law was asked about Zimmer's defense and what he expects from it.
Oh, man. He really cares about ball, man. It's actually dope to, have a coach that, is not going to, settle for nothing else but the best out of you. You wish you have that in all your coaches, and we're glad we got it in Z.
So the coaches that expect the best out of you and try and get that from you, which is awesome. So there's accountability and there's people being held more accountable this year on the defensive side of the ball, it is sounding like, which will stop. But DeMarcus Lawrence, you're also getting back a Trayvon Diggs from the PUP list, who is he was the top corners in the league, however you slice it, but he wasn't on the top 10 ESPN corner list. And I think that's mainly because he only played 3 games last year. He was 60th, I believe, in the NFL top 100. DeRon Bland was ranked up there, but he had to step into a different role. Now you're going to have Trayvon and Bland playing together on the outside in a very, very ball hawking secondary when you have those 2 corners on each side. And Trayvon, like DeMarcus Lawrence, he looks at each of them as leaders on their respective fronts, the defensive line, the secondary, the front end, the back end. And while he acknowledges that they're both leaders of their position groups, he also had some very kind words to say about Mike Zimmer and this defense when talking about their leadership values.
It helps the defense a lot because, he's got the guys up front and, I got the guys at the back end, and it's a team effort. So, you got this person on the front line, this guy on the back line, and we got Kendricks in the middle who's really, really smart, knows the defense like the back of his hand. So, I feel like we're going to have a really good defense this year. Zim is a genius.
Zim is a genius and very high praise. So I'm expecting a lot from this defense. While it was prone to creating turnovers under Dan Quinn, which is fantastic. Every defense would love to create turnovers. I said this at multiple points last year. The defense specifically was built to play with a lead. Offense gets the lead, defense unleashes that pass rush. You take the running game out of it, and that's where it really feasted last year. They would get up on teams and then just tee off on them. And that's great, but you don't get to play from in front every game. And when you're not playing in from in front, and then teams that are good at running the football decide to run the football on you, like Buffalo did, like Green Bay did, like Miami did, there's going to be issues in keeping you in games. And we saw the games blown out. They got housed by Green Bay. They got housed by the San Francisco 49ers. It wasn't close. And so what Zimmer does may be more conducive to the offense not having to bear so much of the load and responsibility of making sure that they get out in front, getting out fast, teeing off offensively. And if they don't get those initial points, they can trust in the defense to maybe hold water until they get the offense going. And that could be a very, very important thing for that Cowboys defense this upcoming season. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Coming up, I'm going to talk about the upcoming game between the Houston Texans and Chicago Bears and what to expect and not expect from what you're seeing in this game. But next, I wanted to replay Mike McCarthy from this morning when he joined the morning huddle, as he talked about going into the final year of his deal, if he feels it's a prove-it year, definitions of success, because that ultimately will be what renews his contract is success. And what is success to him, and potentially getting a new contract, as well as his thoughts on Mike Zimmer and what it means moving forward. That's coming up here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. But before I go to break, I want to give away a pair of tickets to go see that Big 3 basketball out at the Frost Bank Center coming up this Sunday. If you want to go check out Ice Cube's Big 3 basketball as they come to San Antonio, be caller number 5 right now at 210-656-ESPN. That is 210-656-3776. Of course, if you don't win tickets, you can always buy them at big3.com/tickets. That's big3.com/tickets. More Extra Innings. Mike McCarthy from the Morning Huddle coming up right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You've heard me talk about GimmeTheVin.com for years, but wait till you hear what our customer said about Gimme the Vin buyer, Garrett.
Garrett of Gimme the Vin was my point of contact for selling my daughter's car. She's in Florida, and the car was with me here in Texas. Garrett helped me navigate this potentially complicated transaction. He was professional and supportive. Thank you, Garrett. Thank you, Gimme the Vin.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George, because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
3 bands, 1 stadium. Journey, Def Leppard, the Steve Miller Band. 3 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame icons. Their biggest hits Friday, August 16th, Alamo Dome. Tickets on sale now at DefLeppardJourney2024.com.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
El Guacamole Mexican Grill on 25020 Blanco Road is now ready to serve up the cold drinks with your favorite Mexican dish. Come celebrate the grand opening of their bar this August 15th and get a free margarita only at El Guacamole Mexican Grill, 25020 Blanco Road.
School is almost here, and if there's 2 things I can count on, it's my kids needing new outfits because they grow like weeds, and Kohl's stocking their favorite styles. With the back-to-school customer appreciation event going on, I scored 30% off tees, jeans, sneakers, and more when I shopped with a Kohl's card. No card? No problem. Rewards members save 20%, and everyone else saves 15%, plus earn Kohl's cash. When it comes to back to school, you gotta go back to Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends August 11th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It would be the best story, not only in tennis, but maybe in sports.
We were just 2 young Black girls playing in Compton. This is not normally how that story goes. I looked different. I played different. I was more emotional. I was better. I was stronger. I had muscles. I was something that no one had ever seen before, ever.
Stream the ESPN Plus original series, In the Arena, Serena Williams, presented by Morgan Stanley, now on ESPN Plus.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MBA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Dallas Cowboys head coach from Senator. Good to see you again, Coach.
Good to see you. How's summer? Good?
Pretty good, good. How was yours?
Excellent. Yeah, my oldest got married, so that was kind of the highlight.
Well, congratulations. So how long did the sting take to go away? Are you still feeling it?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking your daughter, not the game.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No, No, it's still there.
Good,
It's still there. No, I think just like for like anything, the first time you spend a lot of time reflecting on her, her growing up, and Danny's a great guy, so I think she's got a great partner, and she's off to a good start.
Congratulations!
So, it was really cool.
Coach, it is a prove it league. I hear people say that all the time. Coaches, players, GMs, everybody says it's a prove it league. It seems like right now the Cowboys are asking you to prove it. Does it feel like that to you? Like with you coming into the season with 1 year left on your deal, is that kind of the vibe you get, or do you feel like that's how it is every year when you're a head coach in the NFL?
I think it's like that every day. I think anybody that's been in this league a long time realizes that. So yeah, there's a business component to every single one of us. Everybody's on a contract. We're all subcontractors. So and those are really off-season conversations, and we've all committed to this opportunity. We're excited to have the opportunity. I mean, the work for the Dallas Cowboys is a phenomenal opportunity in this league, and we don't take that lightly, any of us. So whether it's 1 year, 2 years, it doesn't matter. So I mean, I think you have to look at that on a daily basis.
That's Mike McCarthy, head coach of your Dallas Cowboys, right here on San Antonio Sports Star. The first of, we're hoping, 2023 conversations over the next.
Yes, I like the way you're thinking.
Months.
Absolutely.
As you are aware, Coach McCarthy has been joining us on Friday mornings for the last several years. And it's always a great conversation as we go from what was and what's about to be. Right now, we're only talking about what's about to be. And as we looked as the season began, you talked about it, about the transition, just the change of your guys, 25% on a regular basis. And it feels like even more than that this year, even though it really isn't. It does feel like a remarkable transition type of year in a lot of ways. As you face that and you get ready for all of the practices and getting your young guys ready, I heard you talk about it yesterday on setting the table and getting things right. Is everything set? Are you feeling those kids 3 days in, 4 days in, already kind of grow?
I think, yes, the table's set. I think just going back to the first part of your question is, every year you have change.
But it seems like this year more. It seems like you're in this vortex of we got to put our feet down.
Yeah, I think it's normal. I think the change, the number of guys we've lost is a tad higher maybe than prior years, but the point I'm trying to make is that the fact is we're always looking for someone from the outside to come in and step in those shoes, and that's the right way. But I mean, our changes are from within
already here.
And as a coach, you love that because I mean, you're going with the guys you're going with the guys that you've been part of building their foundation. They're part of building your foundation here. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so opportunity and growth from within is higher this year. I totally agree with you, and that's why the importance of developing these draft classes is a number one outlook for us, and now it needs to come to life. But yeah, it's really no different. Mm-hmm. If you just and I haven't looked at the math of it, but yeah, we've lost some guys in free agency, and but yeah, most of our changes are from within, and they're guys that we know and believe in.
One of the things that's changed multiple times since you've been here is the running back room, mm-hmm. or at least who's at the top of the running back room, and it changed once again. How important was that? I know it wasn't from technically within because Zeke was gone, but to get somebody back who's familiar with what you guys do, how important was that for you to have someone who already kind of knows what you're looking for?
Definitely. I think, number one, Zeke is an accomplished player, here in Dallas, and has been for, was the top of the league here for a number of years. So, having him back as a teammate and as a person has just been awesome. So, I mean, Zeke's a natural leader, loved in a locker room. And so that part is huge to have that. That's a big part of, that running back room that he carried the torch for a long time. So that's been great, but it's also cool to see Rico and all the other young guys go a year. Now they're a year mature, so it's definitely a running back room that's going to be super competitive. I tell you, these preseason games are going to be fun to watch our young guys go.
You talked about him being a leader in the clubhouse and being a leader in that group, and I know Tyron Smith was a leader looked at by a lot of the guys as like the guy on this team. I was hearing he's the guy who used to pick out the music, and he was like the undisputed guy. What's it been like trying to replace him? How do you replace a guy like that?
Well, you don't replace them. It just creates opportunities for others to grow. So it's not like one guy steps into that role, and that's not practical. I mean, that's something Tyron's established over his whole career here. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely, missed, loved. I mean, you're obviously rooting for him to have a great year over there in New York, but yeah, it's just really more opportunity for young guys, and just go right next to him, Tyler Smith. Now it's an opportunity for him to blossom more as a leader. Jake Ferguson has stepped it up. Brandon Cooks, you're seeing him be more vocal. So the leadership on offense is excellent, and that's with the loss of Tyron Smith, and that's a credit to those guys.
And there was a transition in place, and I've watched it played out. We had a great chance to talk with your right tackle, kid from San Antonio Steel, and watching his maturation over the last couple of years has really been impressive. This year, we talked about some of the stuff that he quite frankly had problems with last year, and he was the first to bring it up and say, you're right, and attack the problems, which I found very impressive from a kid that has worked from where he is. And I think that's a testament to where you were. I do want to look at the line and the relationship with your running back. I remember last year it was timing. Timing seemed to be the issue with, you work with your quarterbacks and routes, and everything was about timing kind of stuff. And I know how you are a stickler with your line. Talk about the relationship with your offensive line and this group of running backs. They're going to provide different things at different times, but your line has to maintain the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have some youth in our line, so obviously just getting the reps and getting everybody tied together. That's
how far along are you?
We look like a team that's practiced twice in pads.
Yeah,
so that's where we are, which is fine. But being year 2 in the system is definitely going to help us. I mean, you can see it in the communication, and that's with losing your center too. So the biggest change is from 2 years ago to last year was the run game and the protection. So being in year 2, and I think Terrence probably echoed that too, is definitely we're so much more in sync this time right now than we were this time last year.
Mike McCarthy, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, join us here on the Morning Huddle. Dak's name has been in the news all offseason. What's Dak's approach been? Has it been any different than any other year? Is there anything you see different about him, like a fire inside him, or is he just looking at it as the same as every other season? I'm going to come in here and do the best job that I can.
I mean, Dak's fire always burns. I mean, his work ethic is top notch. When I look at the guys I've been around, Rich Gannon always was the guy at the top of the ladder. Dak's right up there. He brings it every day. The quarterback room is really a big reflection of him, and now him and Cooper and Trey is definitely in that mode. So yeah, he doesn't change. If anything, you concern you with Dak is probably working too hard. They're doing too much. So yeah, so he hasn't blinked at all during this.
What does that mean? Working too hard, doing too much?
Overtraining. Just
really.
Yeah, I think today's athletes, these guys go so hard, not only inside the building but outside the building. You just gotta be conscientious of that.
Interesting. The Hall of Fame game is today. You guys played in that game 2-3 years ago, 2021. You're supposed to play in 2020. Played in 21. What's it like? How is it different from a normal camp when you've got that extra game? How's it change what you're doing in the lead up?
I mean, it's really good for your young players. I mean, it's another opportunity. I actually enjoyed. We went up and played Pittsburgh. I thought it was great for our young guys, and and then I'm always going to look at the quarterback position. The ability to have 4 more quarters of football. Really, Cooper Rush did some things in that game that that I had not seen to that point. So. Yeah, I think, especially in today's, NFL with the 3 preseason games, to have an extra game for your young guys, it's beneficial.
Does it surprise you that the Bears have come out and said Caleb Williams, their rookie's not going to play? Does that surprise you that they've got this opportunity to give a guy some extra reps and they're going to pass on it?
No, not that surprises me. I mean, there's so many other factors involved in that decision. So yeah, I'm sure they're obviously doing what they feel is best for their offense.
Brand new DC running around there, and running around is the key. Talk about the energy coming on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, Mike's doing a great job. I mean, his scheme and his system is excellent. I think being in one system for 3 years, this is a really good change for us on a number of fronts. So I think you're always trying to adjust your schemes each and every year, and now to have that type of change, and it's a proven system, something I've competed against, and it's been a lot of fun going against Mike here on a daily basis.
Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Cowboys, join us. How is success going to be defined this season in your mind? Like, what could make this a successful season in your mind? And is it as cut and dry as Super Bowl or bust, which I'm
It's
sure the
pretty
fans want to
cut
hear.
and
But
dry,
to you, what would make this season a successful season?
Well, you're always after the ultimate success, and that's why we do it. I mean, I know that's why I do it. I'm not, I've been spoiled. I'm not here just to get to the playoffs. That's not why I work the way I do and commit the way that we do as a coaching staff. So there's different levels of success, but ultimately the goal is always to win the Super Bowl.
Well, if it's not the Super Bowl, what would be success?
There's different levels of success. I think that's been proven time and time again. So that narrative that you guys jump around with
is your definition, like we call it in our business, is your definition aligned with your suit? I mean, are you on the same track with ownership? What a successful season is? Do you know what that is defined?
Jerry and I to talk about what success, and we don't talk about it like you're talking about it. So, but we have an understanding of what it takes to win this league. I mean, we've both, Jerry got in the league in '89. I got in '93. So I think we have a pretty clear understanding of what successful football looks like.
That is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. Coach, we appreciate the time. We're looking forward to talking to you throughout the season, and best of luck this year. There's a lot on your plate, and I'm looking forward to see how it plays out.
Speaking of plate, tacos this year. Any orders we need to get right for you?
I'm going to have to ask those offensive linemen.
Okay, well, we will make sure we keep
He
everybody
still will be
healthy.
the man.
All right.
He knows
the
scene,
baby. He's missing some tacos.
Absolutely.
Hey, Coach, always a pleasure.
Good seeing
you. Good
you.
health to you, sir.
Take care.
That was Mike McCarthy earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle. Of course, all of our interviews you can catch on our YouTube channel. We have a specific Dallas Cowboys 2020 playlist also on our website at sasportstar.com. If you've missed anything like Stephen Jones, Tyler Guyton, Terrence Steele, who McCarthy just mentioned, talking about breakfast tacos. And if you've been paying attention to the morning show over the last, since Mike McCarthy's been head coach, when they win, Rob sends them breakfast tacos out of his pocket. And those usually went to the quarterback room. Sounds like they're about to go to the offensive line room this year. So a little bit of news broken on the Morning Huddle this morning, but very, very good stuff from Mike McCarthy and the guys. Remember, catch them starting 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning for their final day in Oxnard, California at Dallas Cowboys training camp. AA Best Bail Bonds training camp coverage presented by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Coming back, we have football tonight. That is right, the Hall of Fame game, as we get to see Dwight Freeney and Andre Johnson and Devin Hester and all the Hall of Fame inductees out on the field before the Texans and Bears play coming up at the top of the hour, a game you can catch here on San Antonio Sports Star. We'll talk about what to look for in that game and pay attention to, especially since nobody's really going to be playing, at least starter-wise, for either team. We'll break it down next right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle. Training camp coverage concludes, but man, we have got a lot to talk about. One more padded practice, one more day of fun.
And NFL preseason got underway yesterday with the Hall of Fame game. All that and plenty more here on the Huddle live from Oxford.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Come to Generations Federal Credit Union and drive away with a great competitive rate on your auto loan. We make auto loans simple, no payments for up to 90 days, easy applications, and fast local decisions. Apply online or in person at Generations Federal Credit Union. Member owned, community grown. Rates and terms subject to approval and may change without notice. Interest will continue to accrue during the payment deferral period. Full terms and conditions at mygenfcu.org/auto. Federally insured by NCUA.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beach Boys.
Now streaming, the Beach Boys tell their story in a must-see film event.
Brian, Dennis, and Carl, a cousin Mike Love, and our good friend El Jardine. That's family to me.
Experience the definitive look at America's band.
They were participating in the creation of a California dream.
The fact that what was a family, that's where the success came from.
The Beach Boys, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13. Now streaming on Disney+.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body?
Huh?
That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's great.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free in or out of your vehicle. We can help you find the best battery for your vehicle and budget. O'Reilly Auto Parts has batteries starting at just $79.99. Get your battery tested for free today at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate y'all for rolling along with me tonight as we get you ready for football season. That is right. Guess what? We got a game coming up here in about 20 minutes on San Antonio Sports Star, also on ESPN and ABC. This is the Hall of Fame game as the Texans take on the Bears. Now, both coaches, reports are, starters will not be playing in this game for the most part. Kamari Lassiter and a bunch of others for the Texans not going to play. And as it pertains to the Bears, Caleb Williams and a whole bunch of others aren't playing for them. So what do you look for in a game like this, especially when these two teams play each other in week 2 of the season? They're not going to show a whole lot. It's going to be very base offense, defense. You're kind of watching for depth. You're watching the lines, defensive line for the Texans on the interior. What's that going to look like? Offensive line, can they hold up? And safety play. The outside corners, I think Jeff Okudah and CJ Henderson are going to be battling for that number 3-4 corner position, along with Jalen Petrie kind of playing in the nickel. Obviously, because of roster sizes, not everybody from each starting unit's going to have the night off, but I don't expect to see any stars tonight. But what should you be watching for if this is the case? I'll tell you. The new NFL kickoff rule debuts tonight. That's right. We'll get our firsthand look at what it's actually going to look like as the players line up on the other 40 as the kickoff, and you have to land the ball in between the 20 and the goal line, which will reduce collisions and hopefully injuries because they are now lining up within 5 to 7 yards of each other, I believe it is. And also, it induces more kick returns because you can't just boot it through the back of the end zone anymore. So it's going to be very interesting to kind of see what that new kickoff rule looks like. Also debuting tonight is the NFL banning of the hip drop tackle. How are they going to enforce this? What is a hip drop? What's it going to look like if they call it? Because you've been coached to wrap up and drop weight your entire football career, and now they are officiating this out of the game. How heavily are they going to enforce this rule to where it's obvious, not obvious? Because there is going to be a point at some point this season, a hip drop tackle is going to extend a drive late in the game, and somebody will win a game because of that penalty being thrown. And then we're talking about how they've wussified football all of a sudden, when really they're trying to keep plays like the Tony Pollard play in the playoffs a few years back out of the game. That's what they're attempting to be. Very interesting just to kind of see how that's officiated. It's also the debut for Jason Kelce. That is right. During that interview, you saw me laughing and watching, if you were watching on the YouTube feed. Yeah, Jason Kelce makes his debut on NFL Countdown. He will be a part of the ESPN crew for pregame on Sundays and Mondays, and he's really good. He's funny. He's a natural. He's insightful. I really like Jason Kelce as a part of the crew with Scott Van Pelt and Ryan Clark, and I think he's going to be a really good addition to football pregame shows in general, just in terms of bringing some youth and more recent experience and knowledge to the panels. And I think Jason Kelce is going to be fantastic at it, and he's been fantastic to this point at it. So Jason Kelce debuting on NFL Countdown, very, very fun. Also, we are this close to actual fantasy football. That is right. We are in game 1 of the preseason. There are 3 more for each team after this, and then most of you will be holding your fantasy football draft sometime after that last preseason game. And if you're holding it before it, then that's on you. You're subjecting yourself to injuries because it's just, I usually like to host a fantasy football draft after the final preseason game or before the first game that week of at some point, or the weekend right before that Thursday game where the Chiefs will take on the Ravens in the opener on Thursday Night Football. But I'm also doing a brand new fantasy draft this year. We just had a randomizer pick all of our names with an Olympic break dancer. Yes, you heard me right. An Olympic break dancer. Looking at who I got, it's somebody from Japan. So we'll see how that works out. But each person in our draft is tied to an Olympic break dancer, and they battle head to head. And however they finish is where our draft position is going to be. And I'm kind of excited about this. I'm actually probably going to watch Olympic breakdancing just to see where my Japanese shige kicks ends up finishing in the Olympic breakdancing, so I know where I'm drafting. Hopefully, he's eliminated early, because I personally like drafting at the end of drafts when it comes to fantasy football. I like to be as close to that wraparound at the end as possible, because let's face it, you're taking a running back at 1. And look, how often do you draft a Christian McCaffrey or somebody at 1, 2, 3 that is a running back that is getting hurt and you lose him for the season? Nick Chubb. I like to be on the back end. I like to draft my team outside of running backs and take, like last year, Raheem Mostert was one of my backs. I like to find that guy that's going to be up and coming and potentially a bell cow. Jonathan Brooks is the guy I'm keeping an eye on this year. But fantasy football is almost here. And trust me, if you have any questions about your lineup, sit starts, Extra Innings is going to be your spot all year long. I will gladly talk fantasy football, lineups, how you should go, who you should sit, who you should start. We will definitely hash it out right here on Extra Innings with pleasure. But I'm going to step aside. We're going to take a quick break because there were a lot of injuries today and over the last couple of days, not just Sam Williams, and they could have a big effect on the season. We'll discuss some of those coming up next and how it may affect teams moving forward. That's Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, followed by the Hall of Fame game.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
Football season is among us. Experience the ultimate game day at 49 Cigars at the Village of Stone Oak, Suite 101. Enjoy our fine selection of premium cigars, and you can bring your own beverages. Catch all the action in style at 49 Cigars, where great cigars and unforgettable sports moments meet.
It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend.
The Blitz will be live at Circa August 22nd and 23rd, and then we're staying for the weekend for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor and Circa Million are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas. More details and discounted rooms available online at sasportstar.com.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Raid wants to know, what would you do if you could confidently face every day knowing you and your loved ones are protected? Would you sing along to your favorite song at the top of your lungs? Turn off the GPS and let your heart do the guiding. Go to the drive-thru and order one of everything. Feel the buzz of confidence of knowing you are protected with 65 years of insect science in your hands. Raid. Protection for everyone.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey.
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
El Guacamole Mexican Grill on 25020 Blanco Road is now ready to serve up the cold drinks with your favorite Mexican dish. Come celebrate the grand opening of their bar this August 15th and get a free margarita only at El Guacamole Mexican Grill, 25020 Blanco Road.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 210-615-7777 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Let's get wild.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Just a few more minutes left in the show. Yeah, Jacob Eric on our YouTube Live talking about fantasy football says he loves being at the end of snake drafts and going wide receiver. I also like that. I also enjoy going wide receiver, tight end, or even tight end because it negates there's so few powerhouse tight ends like Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce, and Kittle, like those guys that are going to get you 15 Andrews, 15 to 20. You take one of those away from the rest of the field and you got to flex. You can play two tight ends, or you make people have to trade with you later. So I think that is a smart way to go about building a roster. When you can find running backs, you can find wide receivers throughout the draft. You can find quarterbacks. Quarterbacks end up going later and later every year. So it's going to be very interesting. I just remember something else away to the field. The new Texans uniforms. Haven't seen them on the players yet, really. Not in action, not on TV, only in kind of promotional stuff with the lighting. I like the way it looked. I'm got to say, I'm a fan of at least the way their away uniform looked with their white jerseys, the new numbers, the darker blue. Kind of a fan. It looked good. It looked really, really good. Some injuries around the NFL that have been going on over the last, 24, 46, 58 hours. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert diagnosed with an injury to his plantar fascia in his right foot. Per the team doctor, this according to Adam Schefter, doctors recommended approximately 2 weeks in a boot, followed by a graduated return to play protocol. And the expectation is that he will be ready for the start of the regular season. So already an injury there. Also, somebody that may miss the beginning of the year, DeAndre Hopkins ends up suffering a knee injury and will miss multiple weeks. They're talking 4 to 6 weeks. That puts them right in that start of the season. And if you're a Texans fan, DeAndre Hopkins obviously going to be a big part of Tennessee trying to compete in that division with the Texans and the Jaguars and the Colts. So that was a big one. Bucks edge, Yaya Dabby, he's got a high ankle sprain. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks now. So that was a big injury. And Geno Smith, the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, he's undergoing imaging for some training camp injuries that they're talking about. They're mum on what it is right now. It's his knee, it's his hip, and he's having to undergo injury. So that's going to be a very careful thing to watch. Remember, former Commanders quarterback Sam Howell is now the backup in Seattle. So it's going to be very, very interesting. We've got Texans football playing the Bears in the Hall of Fame game. That is coming up next right here on your home for the NFL and the Dallas Cowboys. Morning Huddle starts tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, the Blitz at 2, and then I come on at 6. Thanks for joining me here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the